I do want to welcome you officially to Loosen Up Yoga today. If we haven't met previously, I'm Amelia Dotson, and this class is being held in what I call open house week. And forgive me if I'm repeating myself because I did mention this earlier, but this week was all a week of free classes, things that you can try out, see what you like. And then next week, I'm starting with my cohorts, I call them. They're series. So they're each a 4-week series. I'm going to have this one, I'm going to have chair yoga, and I'm going to do a self-care challenge. And all of the series map to the free classes that were offered this week. So for example, this is Loosen Up Yoga. So the series for that will be also on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So it's it kind of goes together. It's coordinated. So if you can make it this time today, I was hopeful that you'd be able to make it to the series later. And I'm seeing some more folks coming in. Welcome, welcome. I can't see everybody because my screen is super tiny and super far away from me right now. But I am happy you're here and excited to get started. So we are on the floor today. Find your comfortable spot. I like to sit in a wide-legged seated pose right now. That's what I'm feeling. But you might want to cross your legs or go up on your haunches, or whatever seated pose works for you is fine. In terms of props, I like to keep it simple and use as few as possible. And today, the only prop that would be great to have handy is some sort of stool or chair or the side of a bed or a couch, some sort of surface that you can lean on. So we're not going to be sitting on it. We're just going to use it to lean on in a couple of positions. And it'll make more sense when you see it. But just have that in the back of your head. Look around the room. Is there some surface? Even the side of a desk would work for a lot of it. Just something to lean on. And when in doubt, the wall will work as well. So I think we can figure it out no matter what we have to work with. That said, settle down into your seat. Let your eyes soften or close. Rest your hands somewhere that's comfortable, either on your legs or on the floor. There's no right or wrong here. Start to tap into your breath and notice what's going on with it. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Take a moment to go internal and think about how you're feeling. We'll start with a brief guided meditation so you can keep your eyes either soft or closed. Start to take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your lungs expand. Exhale slowly through your mouth, letting go of any tension you might be carrying. As you continue to breathe deeply, bring your attention to your body. Notice any areas that feel tight or restricted. Without judgment, just observe.
Imagine a warm, gentle light surrounding you, soothing your muscles and joints. With each breath, feel this light infusing your body, easing any stiffness. As we begin our practice today, let's set an intention to move with grace and fluidity, honoring our bodies and unique abilities. As we flow through our poses, remember to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, honor that and adjust as needed. Let go of any expectations and simply surrender to the present moment. With each stretch, feel yourself expanding, reaching a little further than before. Embrace the sensation of opening up, allowing your muscles to lengthen and your joints to soften. Remember, flexibility isn't just about reaching a certain pose. It's about cultivating openness and freedom in both body and mind. So let's flow with intention, breathe with purpose, and embrace the journey towards greater flexibility and mobility. Take one more deep breath in, hold it, and as you exhale, gently flutter your eyes open. Let's begin. So we'll do a little bit of a more active warm-up to get ourselves loosened up before we start doing the poses that we'll kind of hold for longer. So to warm up, we'll start with an inhale with the arms up, reach towards the sky, the ceiling. Exhale, arms come down. Let's do that one again. Inhale, arms up. And this time, just put your right arm down. Keep your left arm up and exhale, going to the right side. Getting a nice stretch here. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches towards the ceiling. And inhale, arm back up. Both arms are up. Exhale, both arms down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, and this time twist to the right. So the right hand goes behind, left hand on your knee. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, press your chest forward, look up. Exhale and curl your spine, look down at your belly button. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, look up, press your chest forward. Exhale, curl your spine, look down at your belly button. And inhale, back to neutral. Exhale here. Inhale here again. Exhale, hinge at the hips. So whatever seated position you're in, just forward fold a little bit. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths so you don't have to move yet, but continue to breathe. Let your neck be long and your back relatively straight. Just a gentle fold here. Your next inhale, sit up. Exhale here. For our first main flexibility pose, we're going to stand briefly and go into a standing forward fold. And for this one, you've got some choices. So if you have that stool or chair or surface nearby, you can use that because we're going to be here for a few minutes. We do each pose about 2 minutes. So you want to be comfortable and not overly straining. So that's what the surface is for. So I'm using this stool and just coming into a forward fold with the hands either flat on the surface, or you can come down to forearms if that works for you. Or if you don't want to use the surface, you can simply Fold over your legs, bracing yourself somewhere on your shins or ankles or even thighs work as well. So finding the best version of this for you that you can stay in for a minute or two. We want to keep the space between our torso and our legs rather close. We're going to do another move later where we step back a little bit, which will be a little different. I just wanted to differentiate there. In Loosen Up Yoga, one of the most important facets is the breath. So if it works for you, I want you to shift to breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bonus points if you can make the exhale audible, so you can hear it, kind of like a sigh. And possibly slow that exhale down. That gives your body a powerful signal that it's safe and can relax and open up. So we're going to transition here. Whatever version of this pose is working for you, I want you just to step back a little bit. So we're going to go a little wider and a little further back. So feet come out wider and you step back a little bit. So we're going to take the emphasis out of the legs and move it into the shoulders. So we're going to push the hips back, straighten the arms, and allow the head to sink down in between the arms. So this pose is less about the legs and more about opening the chest and shoulders. Think of it that way. So play around with your version of where you are with that in mind. So if your hands are on the floor, I find it much harder to get that opening in my shoulders. So I love using a surface for this. And if you don't have one, you can also do this against a wall and get a similar effect. Sorry, I didn't want to put my back to you like that, but it's just a demonstration that you can use the wall if need be. So we're staying here using that breath. Again, focusing on inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, relaxing as much as humanly possible into the toes. Here, step the right leg up and the left leg back, so in lunge position. So I'm going to stay using my surface here and have the right leg to the right of the surface of that stool or chair, if this is possible. The back knee is down and the hands can either be supported. If you don't have a surface, you can support them on your thigh or knee and stay here. That's just fine. If you do have a surface, again, forearms are great. Or you can come up on your hands if you want a little more spaciousness in your torso. Because what we're after here is the opening in the front of the left hip. That's where we're focusing our stretch. So relax into your version of this pose. Breathing into the stretch. Giving the pose time to release. Because at first we're going to resist. It's going to be it's a little scary for our body sometimes to open up. So giving time coupled with the breathing gives it a sense of safety. Now, very carefully push your hips back. Come out of the pose. Bring your right leg back so you're on your knees and switch legs. The left leg will come up now to the outside of your stool if you're using one. If not, again, you can support yourself on your thigh. And we're doing the same thing. Going for that stretch now in the front of the right hip. Remembering to breathe. And this is a great example of this class being choose your own adventure. So when I say things like breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, that doesn't work for you if your nose is stuffed up or you just generally can't use your nose like that. Breathe through your mouth. It's okay. You know your body best. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing it your way. Everything is adaptable. The beauty of it is we are all going to have our own versions of this. And if you want, if it feels good, you can let your forehead drape down over your forearms, trying to find as much ease as possible in these challenging poses. They are deceptive. Some of us may find them easy to come into, but most of us will feel it after 2 minutes. So wherever you are on that spectrum is just fine. Slowly press those hips back, coming into a kneeling position. And from here, many of us might not love being in a kneeling position, and that's okay. So for this next one, you can stay kneeling up on your knees, kind of like standing on your knees. Or if this does not work for your body, you can stand up on your feet, because what we're working on is the stretch on the chest and the back. So we're going to inhale and exhale, look up, pressing hands into your lower back and looking up. So again, this can be done standing on your knees, standing on your feet, or even sitting on your bottom will be fine. Because what we're after is all up here. A little bit in the hips too, but it's mostly about what's happening in the upper body. So experiment. See what's working for you today. Finding a version of this that you can stay in. For example, I had my head tipped all the way back. That worked for a few moments, but I did not like staying there. So I pulled my head back up to look more straight ahead. So things like that. Just play around, see what's going on with you in relation to this pose today. Other versions of this could have your hands on your hips, If your wrists are starting to talk to you on your lower back, put your focus on opening the chest and your breath. Slowly, let's come back out of this one. Hips dip back down. And for this next pose, we will have a choose your own adventure. We're going into a squat pose. So this can look different for everybody. So the goal is to find a version of a squat that doesn't involve strain or stress. So if that means balancing on the side of your surface or your chair or stool, opening your legs wide into a squat, because what we're going for is this opening in your hips. That's what's important, not how low you can go. None of that is important. What we're going for is for your body to open. So it can be on the surface, or if you want, you can come down towards the floor and press your palms together if that's within your current range of motion. Some people do this with a yoga block sitting on it, but you don't necessarily need to have one of those handy. Balancing on a stool or your couch, the end of your couch, whatever is fine. Somewhere where we can open these hips without, we don't want to be hovering and using all of that muscle tension while we're doing this, because that will kind of work against the opening and the stretching part of it. Breathing here. Continue staying in this pose, your version. Tapping into your breath. Feeling the release. Seeing if you can find some sort of relaxation in this pose. From here, come back onto your knees briefly. Come onto your hands and knees and give your bottom a little shake. Let things loosen up, kind of shake things out a little bit. Maybe do some circles with your bottom in this tabletop position. Changing directions. Give yourself a little wiggle. And let's come back down onto our bottom. This time with our legs out straight in front of us. Legs are together. And instead of flexing our feet and causing tension there, just let your feet relax. So we're not flexing and we're not pointing. Your legs are just relaxed, your feet. Inhale here. Exhale and hinge at the hips and just drape yourself over your legs. So the amount of movement here is going to vary tremendously based on our flexibility, based on our body shape. There's no right or wrong. So just a little bit of a fold here is what we're after. Take your hands and wherever they're falling and relaxed, turn them palms up. The reason for this is to allow yourself to just receive. Whatever your body wants to do is a receiving position. And it also counteracts the urge to grip and pull. So we don't want that. We want our hands palms up and relaxed. They can either drape on your legs or out to the side, wherever they're comfortable, wherever they naturally want to be. Depending on how much space you've got here in this torso area, will determine how far you go as much as your flexibility. Next inhale, sit up. Pull our left foot in to touch your right leg somewhere. This is going to be a shorter sequence of just loosening up, kind of a cool down. So we pull this left foot in somewhere on the right leg, and then inhale the right arm up overhead and reach towards the ceiling. Exhale and release that right arm and breathe normally as you switch your feet. Pull that right foot in. Allow that left foot just to relax. Also your right foot too, so there's no gripping here. And then on your next inhale, the left hand comes up overhead, reaching towards the ceiling. And then comes down. Come back into your favorite seated position, similar to how we started class. So if you like your legs out wide like me, you can do that. Otherwise, legs cross work, or even down on your haunches, on your knees, whatever you like. Let's take another deep breath together. Arms come up. Reach towards the ceiling and then let the arms float down with that exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Reach towards the ceiling and then let the arms float down. Exhaling. Bring your hands together in front of your chest and press your palms together. And then think about pressing your fingers together and your thumbs. Notice the knuckles pressing into one another. Press into all parts of your hand. And then on your next exhale, I want you to press as hard as you can, just for a moment on that exhale, and then release. I want to thank you for joining me today. This was a great class. I really enjoyed it, and I will be sending an email tomorrow or posting in the group that you found me in, either way, with the recording of this class, as well as information about the different cohorts that will be going on starting next week. Totally optional. You'll have this recording if you just want to use it on your own. That's absolutely fine. But if you do want to join the group and do this together, absolutely welcome to join us. We've got 12 spots available. So I'll be here for another couple of minutes if you have any questions, but thank you. I appreciate that you took the time to be here together.